Welcome back to Fox 11 News in Depth. I'm Hal Eisner, and when it comes to protecting our children, it's usually not a lack of desire, but a lack of understanding that gets in the way. Our next guest literally wrote the book on the subject. Clayton Cranford is the author of Parenting in the Digital World, a step-by-step guide to internet safety. Clayton, thanks for joining us. And you come at the subject from law enforcement, so everybody where you used to work?
Yeah, I was a deputy sheriff in Orange County Sheriff's Department for 20 years.
And you worked with this subject right here.
Yes, indeed, yeah. I started out as a deputy, but the best job I ever had was working in schools as a juvenile detective. And that's where all this came from. And
so all of this being the book that we just showed everybody, what is it that you tell people in this book?
I want a very clear message to parents that their child desperately needs them in the digital world. Parents, my generation, I raised two boys who are now in college, but we all are dealing with a situation where we grew up without the internet. So most parents either don't know what they need to talk about or the fact that they need to have this conversation in the first place.
In all three of these segments on this show so far, we've talked about parents. We talk about the exploitation of kids, but we talk about parents.
Yes.
And the importance of parents being rocks for their kids. Talk about that.
Well, your kid is going to tell you, I got this. I'm perfectly fine. I don't need your help or intervention here. And there's just too much experience to show us that this is not the case. All my stories revolve around a good kid who makes a bad choice and a parent who does not know what's going on. So the good news is that all of these problems really boil down to a couple of things which are very solvable, which is an unfiltered and unsupervised internet. And the third thing maybe is, how do you talk to your kid about some of these issues?
With that work experience of yours, you must have seen some things that would be very hard for a lot of parents to stomach.
Yeah. Denise's story is a story I know well. I've sat across from parents who've had a child who was a victim of sexual exploitation online or otherwise. And when a parent sees a kid broken in ways that aren't easily fixed, it changes everything for you. So having those experiences, I just realized we need to have this conversation. And we do it with parents, but we also speak at thousands of schools every year, hundreds of thousands of students over the last 10 years. And kids are going to make mistakes. That's what kids do. That's why they need a parent to come in and set up a situation where they can interact online safely.
Let me ask you about this. I happened to open up to a part of the book that says parental controls for Chromebook, parental controls for Mac OS, parental controls for iOS. I mean, it's one page after another, parental controls for Android. You hit them all here.
We do. Yeah. So that's one piece of the puzzle. Like, making your child's device safe is very important, obviously. We can leverage technology. There's apps that you can put on your child's device that will monitor what they're doing and alert you. The one that I've been using is Our Pact, works amazing. But on the other end, we need to have children who feel safe to come to mom and dad and have these conversations. So there's a lot of conversations, and the book also walks you through those step by step.
Some of what we hear, though, is that kids are more sophisticated now. And because they're more sophisticated now, they think they can do a lot of other things that we, when we were kids, not so sophisticated, couldn't do. So what do you say about that? I mean...
Well, I mean, every parent who sees my parent presentation says, man, am I glad there was no internet when I was a kid. And the news is that your kid is you with the internet. So kids are going to make bad choices. They're just doing it in a world now where they can reach not just the people in your neighborhood or the people who live in your city. They're reaching 3.5 billion people online. And there's a lot of people online who are very good at manipulating children into making bad choices, like sending them inappropriate or intimate images.
So parents need to understand technically how to deal with these devices. I know you deal with that in here.
Yes.
But what would you say to them right now?
I would say, go look in the book, go to my website, download the contract. We have it in 5 different languages, and just walk through it with your kid. Have a conversation about each point. It's going to cover things that you need to talk about that you didn't realize you need to talk about, and then open up that door so that your child, in a situation where they feel that they're cornered, like a person has an image of them and now they're blackmailing them, they know, because you've already told them, that no matter what is going on, I'm a safe person to come to.
In 15 seconds, what is that contract?
It's the Internet and Mobile Device Usage Contract on cybersafetycop.com.
And the point of that contract is?
It's a script for your conversation with your kid.
And, you know, sometimes we think we have trusting relationships with our kids. but they're good actors.
You do, but the problem is your kid is different online. The way they behave online is something very different than what maybe you're seeing in the real world.
Yeah. It's a conundrum, right?
It's solvable, but it is not easy.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Clayton Cranford and Fox 11 News in Depth will continue right after this break. Don't go away.